Many years ago, in the beautiful town of Ikpetu, there lived a young girl whose name was Ezinne Adewale. She was just 9 years old when her mother, Chioma, died, and everything changed after that. Her father, Chief Adewale, was a wealthy businessman who loved his only child so much. But barely 6 months after the burial of her mother, he brought in a new woman, Iyabo, who claimed to be a widow, with her daughter Aderonke. Chief Adewale felt that she was going to be a good mother to his daughter, and that her own daughter Aderonke would also become a good sister to his daughter Ezine. He did all of this because he did not want his daughter to be lonely, because he was a busy man and traveled often. So at first, when Iyabo came into their home, she was very nice to Ezine and would smile, touch her shoulder gently, and say things like, "You're such a sweet girl, Ezine, and I promise I will take care of you. You will not even feel that your mother is dead." Iyabo would say, pretending to be nice. But after a while, she began to change. Her true color began to come out. The minute Chief traveled for one of his long business trips and stayed away for weeks, Iyabo's wickedness came out in full force. She would scream at Ezine saying, "Ezine, Ezine, what are you still doing in bed by this time? Come on, wake up. Go and wash the dirty dishes. Go and sweep the compound. Make yourself useful. Scrub the toilets. Useless girl." Iyabo would scream out wickedly at Ezine. And that was just the beginning, though, because Iyabo turned Ezine into a housemaid in her own father's house. Meanwhile, Iyabo's own daughter, Aderonke, from a previous marriage, did not do anything. She never lifted up her finger to wash a single spoon. Instead, it would be Ezine that would clean, sweep, cook food, iron everybody's clothes, and do all of this before leaving for school every morning. And what of her father, Chief Adewale? That one was too busy traveling around the world and signing contracts and attending meetings to even notice what his daughter was going through. Ezine was always sad. She was always in tears and even began to miss her mother the more. And things continued like this for several years. She had tried to speak to her father once about her stepmother's attitude towards her, but he simply waved it off. He did not believe her because Iyabo always pretended to love and care for Ezine in his presence. So he just thought that maybe his daughter was just being mischievous. So Ezine just gave up speaking to her father and continued to suffer in silence. And so a few years later, and Ezine had grown into a beautiful, tall, graceful, soft-spoken, and smart young lady. And soon enough, rich suitors started showing up for her. Men with clean shoes, tinted cars, perfumes that even announced them before they stepped into a place. Clean men, Odogu Parara, men with pounds and dollars, were the kind of men coming for her. But these men never lasted because every single time a serious man came to ask for Ezine's hand in marriage, her stepmother, Iyabo, would call them aside and poison their minds against Ezine and destroy the relationship. She would call the men and say, my dear, let me advise you as a mother. I know, yes, what I might be doing might be wrong, but I'm just looking at you as though you are my son. You see this Ezine, all the men in our neighborhood know the color of her underwear. It is even a surprise that she's not yet pregnant. Anyway, I'm not surprised because I'm sure she's busy aborting her children one after the other. Yeah, I just say I should tell you. Oh. So it's not when you get married now and you will start looking for children, you say that nobody wants you. I'm warning you now. Oh, if you want to go ahead, fine, but at least know the kind of person you're getting married to. That girl is wayward, stubborn, wild. She has aborted all the children in her womb. She will not be able to give you children. The only thing that she has to her name right now is a good face, that pretty face and her slender body. That is all. Oh. Otito. Iyabo would say spitefully. And then these men would disappear like a smoke. Esme, on the other hand, was always worried and sad. She would call these men, but then she would realize that they had blocked her. She was getting so worried. She did not know what she was doing wrong because the last time she spoke with her boyfriend, they were good. And all of a sudden, they are no more picking her calls. They've blocked her on every social media platform. So things continued like this for a long time. More than 12 wealthy suitors had come to the house to see her father and had ended up not coming back. Isn't was broken. And then she began to realize a pattern that these men only left her after they visited her father. And then it dawned on her that it could be her stepmother that was responsible for all the suitors leaving her. So she made a decision that the next time she was going to be in a relationship, that she was going to hide it from her stepmother so that she does not scatter it. Then one Sunday morning, something changed. Isn't had just finished singing in church when she met a young, handsome man named Chuka. Chuka was tall, dark, calm, and handsome. And it was love at first sight for Chuka. Chuka walked up to Isn't and said, "I'm so sorry for stopping you like this, but I saw you in the choir while you were ministering. And I don't know, I just felt something towards you. I felt attracted towards you. And I heard the spirit immediately tell me that you're my wife. You're so beautiful. My name is Chuka, and I would like to get to know you better." Chuka said, smiling. By this time, Izini was busy smiling like a fish. She was so shy. Then she responded and said, "Nice to meet you, sir." And then they started talking. They would spend hours over the phone in church and even hang out secretly so that her stepmother would not see them. Then one evening, while they were taking a stroll, Isn't opened up to Chuka and said, Chuka, if my stepmother finds out that you are rich, she will chase you. She will poison your mind against me. She has done that to more than 12 of my suitors. She will say all sorts of nonsense about me. She does not want me to marry before her daughter. Or better still, she does not want me to marry at all. She wants me to stay in that house with her and serve her all the days of my life. She has sent all the men that have come for me in time past. Ezine said, looking very sad. So Chuka replied and said, "Okay, but what do we do? Like, I'll literally have to see your family at some point. So what do we do?" Chuka asked. Then Ezine looked at him and said, "Mm, maybe you could like pretend to be poor, like dress like a mechanic, dress like a poor person, talk like someone that is struggling, drive an old car, maybe a bicycle. Let my stepmother think that you have nothing. Then when you come to ask for my hand in marriage, just dress like a poor person. And you will see, she will willingly give me out because she doesn't want anything good for me," Izini said. And then Chuka laughed and said, "Are you sure? Like, will that work? And are you okay with that?" Because what it means is that I will not be able to, throw a big wedding for you. Like if I'm poor, I have to pretend to be poor till after our marriage. Chuka asked. Then Isini replied and said, "Yes, so I am okay with it, please. I just want peace. And I just want to marry the man that I love. I want to literally spend the rest of my life with you. And if the only sacrifice that I would have to give is forfeiting a big wedding, then so be it," Izini replied. Then Chuka smiled and said, "Okay, all right. We can do this. Ayana, let's play this game together. Let's trick your stepmother." So that was it. So the first day that Chuka came to Izini's house, he wore a faded shirt, rubber slippers, and even carried a nylon bag with bread and granite inside. Then he greeted Yabo sounding very timid and afraid. Eh, good morning, ma. Káàárọ̀ ma, Chuka said. Then Iyabo looked at him from head to toe while covering her nose and then said, who are you? And who did you come to see? Did you miss your way? Do you know where you are? Iyabo asked. Then Chuka responded and said, no, ma, I did not miss my way. I came to see Ezinema. I love her. I want to marry her. I want her to be my wife. Chuka replied. And immediately, Iyabo turned to her daughter Aderonke and they bursted into laughter. Hey, come and see the mechanic that your sister has brought back home. See his slippers. Will this one be able to afford 3 square meal? I be 1 square meal. Hey, you're still going to go and bring somebody from the gutter to get married to. Wonder shall never end. Iyabo said as she bursted into laughter. But Ezine stood there, calm and pretending to be embarrassed. Mommy Iyabo, please don't insult him. I love him. I don't care what he does for a living. I will support him. I love him. I just want to marry him. Ezine said. And for the first time ever, Iyabo did not try to poison Chuka's mind against marrying her stepdaughter. She did not call him aside to say all sorts of horrible things about Ezine because this was the kind of person that she wanted Ezine to marry. She wanted her to marry a pauper, a poor man that would struggle to feed. So even when her husband, Chief Adewale, kicked against his daughter marrying such a poor man, Iyabo made it her point of duty to convince him to let her marry him. So that was how Chuka and Ezine got married, quietly, without any celebration, just family blessings. Because Chuka was too poor to afford a proper wedding celebration. So all he did was just pay the bride price. Iyabo was so happy to see that her stepdaughter had ended up with a poor mechanic. Iyabo and her daughter Aderonke sat down for hours, gossiping and laughing about the kind of man that Ezine had married and how she had ruined her life by getting married to a poor man. Meanwhile, the day after the wedding, Chuka took Ezine to his house, a beautiful mansion. And as soon as Ezine stepped down from the car and saw the house, she froze. Where are we? Ezine asked, looking shocked. Then Chuka smiled and said, it's our home, your home, baby. It's ours. Chuka replied proudly. Ezine could not believe it. She screamed and ran and hugged him tightly. Wow! So you mean this is your house? As in this is your house? What? And this is mine as well. Like I'm the madam of this house. Achalugo. Hey, hey. I'm telling you, if my stepmother sees this one, my dear, she will just faint. In short, she will be in a state of coma for 3 weeks. Ezine replied excitedly. And just like that, her and her husband began to live happily ever after. Chuka was the perfect husband and he loved and pampered her silly. He gave her money, gifts, and spent quality time with her, telling her all those sweet, sweet nonsense that young women love to hear. But a few weeks later, and Iyabo found out what Ezine and her husband did, how they tricked her and deceived her into believing that Chuka was very poor. Meanwhile, Chuka was even the richest man that had come to ask for Ezine's hand in marriage. Iyabo nearly ran mad. What? This girl lied to me. Amy. Iyabo. Kai, this girl deceived me. Oh, so she pretended as if Chuka was poor so that I will not stop the marriage. I will deal with this girl. I will deal with Ezine. She will not know what hit her. By the time I am done with her, this rat, this small girl played me. Iyabo said, fuming in anger. But it was too late though, because Ezine had finally escaped. She had married the man of her dreams that loved and pampered her silly. And even though Isne thought that she had escaped her wicked stepmother, she did not know that Iyabo was planning something wicked for her, a plan that would literally haunt her every single night. So Chuka and Isne continue to live their lives. Chuka continued to love and adore his wife. He would come back home early from work just to help her peel yam in the kitchen. He would play with her, crack her up all day. As a matter of fact, Isne had never known this kind of gentleness. They were so happy. They laughed, they danced together, and they even prayed together. And every single night, Ezine would call up into Chuka's arms and thank God for giving her a wonderful man as her husband. Then out of the blues, one Tuesday morning, Ezine received a visitor. It was Iyabo, her stepmother. She arrived at their gates with a basket of oranges and a fake smile plastered all over her face. And immediately she saw Ezine. She looked at her and said, my daughter, I did not come to fight. I just came to ask for your forgiveness. Please, I know that I was hard on you. I just did not want to lose my husband's love to another woman's child. I was scared. But now I know better. That's why I've come to beg for your forgiveness. It's not fair that you should enter into a marriage without having a mother figure to advise you and guide you. So please find a place in your heart to forgive me. I would love to become a real mother to you. Iyabo said sadly. And Ezine stood there. She was not so sure of what to do. She did not know whether Iyabo really meant what she said. But the way Iyabo kept on begging and begging her, so she forgave her and welcomed her to stay for as long as she wished. Iyabo smiled and thanked her. But inside her mind, she just hissed and said, foolish girl, you think that I came here to eat rice and to eat chicken and to smile? You don't know what is about to hit you. Iyabo thought in her heart. And so, the moment Iyabo stepped inside the house, she became even more jealous, envious, and bitter. Eh? So this is the kind of big madam life that this girl is enjoying. She's literally living like a queen. This girl deceived me. Oh, who gave her this sense? This girl tricked me. Meanwhile, my own daughter does not have a sensible man that's asking for a hand in marriage. Every day, that one is still eating rice and stew in my house and telling me, thank you, ma. If my daughter does not have a man, this one cannot have a man. Oh, I will destroy this one. You see, before I'm done, I will scatter this marriage. Iyabo thought to herself. And that night, she laid awake all night, staring at the ceiling of the guest room and just thinking. She could not sleep, especially because she heard them laughing in their bedroom. She hated that Ezine was so happy. So one morning, Ezine decided to go to the market to go and buy things for the house. And she told her stepmother that she was going out to get some things. And Iyabo just replied and said, okay, my daughter, please take your time, oh. Iyabo said, smiling like a fish. And as soon as Ezine left and she heard the gates close, she immediately went and got a charm from her bag and then sneaked into Ezine's matrimonial room, opened the bedroom door slowly. She walked into Ezine's room with a charm and then brought it out and spoke to it and called Ezine saying, Ezine, Ezine, you will know no rest. Your bed will betray you. Your marriage will stink of shame. Let the urine flow and flow and flow. Ha, 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 ha. So that was how Iyabo cursed Ezine and then placed the charm gently under the bed. Then she stood up, arranged the bed back, smiled, and left the room. Then a few hours later, Ezine returned, smiling and sweating, with tomatoes, onions in her basket, and all sorts of foodstuffs. And as soon as Iyabo saw her, He welcomed her warmly, saying, "Ah, Ezinne, you're back. You're such a hard-working wife. Oh, please, welcome back. Let me help you." Iyabo said, smiling. Then Ezinne replied and said, "Ah, thank you, Mommy Iyabo. Ah, you have really changed, though. You have really changed. You're so nice," Ezinne said. Then Iyabo laughed and replied and said, "My dear, I made a mistake. I'm just trying to correct what I have done. I just want peace now. I want to be a mother to you," Iyabo replied. Then later that evening, Iyabo came up with an excuse that she had to go back home, and she thanked Ezinne profusely for welcoming her back into her house and forgiving her. And then she packed her bags and left. Her mission had been accomplished. But by the next morning, Ezinne woke up drenched. The whole bed was wet, even the floor. Her thighs were dripping. Jesus! Ezinne screamed as she jumped out of the bed. "What is this? What is this?" Ezinne said, looking very frightened. Then Chuka sat up immediately and said, "Babe, are you okay? Did you spill something? What is wrong?" Then Ezinne replied and said, looking very ashamed, I think I actually urinated on the bed. I wee-weed." Ezinne said, looking ashamed. "Are you sure? Maybe it's something else. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe water poured in the room, something." Chuka replied. But Ezinne was sure. She had urinated on the bed. So she went ahead and changed the bed sheets. But the next night, it happened again and again and again. And by the fifth day, Ezinne broke down. She could not even sleep anymore. She would stay awake up till 2 a.m. She would even go and urinate in the toilet more than 5 times. She would lie down carefully. Yet, when she wakes up, the whole place will be wet and soaked. Initially, her husband, Chuka, tried to stay calm. He told her, "Do not worry. Maybe, I don't know, your hormones, something. Just calm down. Maybe you're stressed. Maybe that's the reason for all this." Chuka said, trying to be the supportive husband. But by the third week, he started getting frustrated though. He started sleeping at the edge of the bed for fear that Ezinne's wee Ezinne's urine would travel all the way from her bum bum and touch him. He even stopped touching her at night. He was getting irritated by her. For crying out loud, how can a grown woman be urinating on her matrimonial bed? Ezinne was sad. She cried in the bathroom every day. She even stopped drinking water by 4 p.m. so that she would not urinate at night. She went to the hospital. The doctor ran all sorts of tests. Everything came back normal. Yet, she was still bedwetting. So one evening, Ezinne decided to go and visit her stepmother. She met her stepmother Iyabo in the parlor peeling granuts. And when Ezinne walked in, you could see that she had already been crying for many days. She stared at Iyabo and said, "I think my husband is tired of me. I think Chuka is tired of me. I don't know what happened. I just started urinating on my body. I started bedwetting. I don't know why. I cannot control it. And now my husband is tired of me. I don't know where else to turn to. I don't even know who to speak to about it. I've gone to the hospital. The doctor said there's nothing wrong with me. I don't know who else to confide in. So I said, let me confide in you. Whether you could help me, any herbalist, any herbal treatment, anything. I have no other person to turn to but you. You are now my mother," Ezinne said sadly. And Iyabo tried to comfort her. "It's okay, my dear. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes life happens." Then she tried to advise her, saying, "My daughter, do not mind your husband though. Men don't have patience. They are all the same, especially the rich ones. Me, I will say that you should come back home for a while. Come back home, clear your head. You don't want your husband to see you as desperate. Does your husband know who your father is? You're not from a poor family. Do not let that man treat you anyhow. Now that he's supposed to be by your side, he's there, avoiding you. My dear, come back to your father's house. You don't need him. Well, then what exactly does he have?" Come back home, Iyabo said, trying to poison her stepdaughter's mind and scatter her marriage. Isini did not know what to do, but she went back to her matrimonial home and continued to ponder on what her stepmother had said for so many days, while she still continued to bedwet. But now things got worse because her husband began to keep late nights and keep other women too. And soon, Isini found out and began to weep profusely. So that night, she knelt on the floor of the bedroom, weeping. God, please help me. This shame is too much. I don't know what I did wrong. Why am I bedwetting? Mommy, if you can hear me, help me, please. Ezine cried out to her late mother, and then she dozed off and then had a dream where she saw her late mother Chioma speaking to her. Her late mother stared at her and then said, "My child, the problem is under your bed. You forgave too easily. You trusted easily. It was your stepmother that did it to you. Go and get out that charm and burn it." Her mother said to her in the dream. And so immediately Isni woke up from the dream. She raised her mattress, but did not see anything at first. Then she searched again and saw the charm by the corner of the bed. She was shocked and screamed. She called out to her husband Chuka, who no longer slept in the same room with her because the whole room was usually smelling of urine. So he rushed into Ezine's room and was shocked to see the charm. Ezine went ahead and narrated the dream to him. And that was how they realized that it had been the stepmother all this while that was behind all her bedwetting for all these months. Ezine broke down in tears. What did I ever do to this woman? What have I ever done to her? Why did she told me that she came to beg for my forgiveness? I didn't know she came to charm me to scatter my marriage. Ezine said, crying. And then she took the charm and spoke some words over it and said, "Now I declare back to sender. Let my stepmother and stepsister begin to urinate on themselves day and night." And then Isne went ahead and burnt the charm. And for the first time in a long while, that night Isne slept dry and woke up dry. The next night dry also and woke up dry. And that was how she just stopped bedwetting, just like that. And a few days after, something began to happen back in Ipetu. Her stepmother, Iyabo, woke up and screamed, "Jay!" Her wrappers were soaked. She changed it, and 2 hours later, they were soaked again. She was bedwetting every single time. In the morning, oh, in the afternoon, oh, in the night, oh. As a matter of fact, one day, while she was at a party, dancing, she did not know when she urinated on herself, and people pointed and began to laugh at her. See this woman, oh, this old woman is urinating on herself. Wonder shall never end. Iyabo was so ashamed of herself. And soon her daughter, Aderonke, joined though. That one too started experiencing the same thing. But her own was worse. Her bladder was literally leaking. She could not even hold urine for up to 5 seconds. But by this time, Aderonke already had a rich suitor who really liked her and had come to visit her one day at home, just like every other time. And while they were talking, Aderonke peed on herself. And that was how the guy broke up with her. He could not marry an adult that was weaving non-stop, morning, afternoon, and night, uncontrollably. Aderonke and her mother began to weary non-stop. And so, no man ever came near Aderonke again. Her friends even avoided her. And she became a laughing stock amongst everybody. And just like that, the both of them became isolated, alone, dirty, and mocked. They went to every hospital possible. But Omo, there was no cure. They even tried to go into Ezine's house to beg her. But of course, Ezine's husband Chuka had already given the gateman strict instructions never to let them into his house. If not, he was going to fire him. Meanwhile, Chuka, apologized to his wife Izini for cheating on her during her downtime, and she forgave him. And so Izini and Chuka's love continued to grow stronger, and they lived happily ever after, and even went ahead and had two beautiful children. But Iyabo and Ronke, on the other hand, continued to urinate non-stop. And soon, Chief Adewale, Ezine's father, could not take it any longer, especially after hearing all that she had done to his daughter. So he threw Iyabo and Aderonke out of his house, and they went and lived off the rest of their days in a small room that was always soaked and smelling with urine. They could not even afford to keep a job because they were always leaking. They could not also afford to do business because nobody wanted to come near them to buy whatever they were selling because they were always smelling of urine. So they had no choice than to resort to begging on the streets to feed, while they still went about from one babalawo to the other, looking for a solution. Hi besties, it's your favorite storyteller, Omalicha. Thank you so much for watching my story to the end. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. First off, don't you think, or do you think that Ezine was too trusting? For crying out loud, how can somebody be so wicked to you for many years? Then out of the blues, the person just comes to your gates and comes up with a sad story and is crying and apologizes, and you take the person back into your house just like that. Like, do you think she was gullible to have even believed Iyabo in the first place? Then secondly, do you think that people really change? Like, if there's someone in your life that you already know that this person is evil, this person is bad, this person has done so much to you in time past, do you think that they can suddenly change because maybe they gave their life to Christ, something happened to them and all that? Do you think people really change? Please share your thoughts with me in the comment section. And finally, do you think that Iyabo and Aderonke deserve the life that they finally had? Like, they literally fell into the pit that they dug for Izini. Please share your thoughts with me in the comment section. And also, please, if you love Omalicha, what are you waiting for now? How about click on the join now button and become a member. Graduate from just being a subscriber to a member. Come and see the fun parts of Omalicha. And there are several other perks too. I can't wait to see you on the inside. And please support your home girl, Omalicha, by subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, and sharing with your loved ones. So now, till I come your way again with more interesting stories. Bye.